Hey guys, welcome to another week, another teaser. So this one will be from the 17th until the 21st of November 2025. We are a month away from 2026. So everyone who's still working, who's still putting in those hours, just hanging there. We are weeks away from the festive holidays. So just hang in there. Coming up on Monday, a family is pushed to breaking point as the search for a missing loved one intensifies. Um, I'm thinking, well, I would like to think this is the traditional healer. What's his name? I forgot his name. I think this is him. The search for no, but he's not missing. He's dead, so it can't be him. I think it's Ivy. This is November now. I can't even remember when Ivy went AWOL, but it's been some few months, and we are still searching. Story-wise, we're still searching, and at this point, I don't see why you almost why we need this frequent update of nothing. If they leave these details out until the day there is actually something to report and they report it, that's way better than different weeks or different days. You're reporting the same thing, just phrasing it differently, but is the same. She's still not found. We still have no idea what's going on, but we've been getting reports and reports and reports pretty much about nothing. The frustrations with Skeem Saam writers. The search for redemption leaves Lehasa with nothing but humiliation. Also, this one, I think we want to go into December with this storyline with the Lehasa and Peterson, Kwezi, and whatever. Koloi's big day takes a shocking turn as everything goes wrong. Man. Imagine you prepare your whole life for this one moment, and you know that this is going to give you that break that you need, and everything just goes the other way. How do you come out of that? Knowing that, oh man, you thought your life is going to change, and it actually is going to change. But the one thing that you had to do to make sure that your life changes, everything just goes wrong, and it might not even be your fault. It might be external things that you had no control over. Then it's like, how do you come back from that? And my advice is, things will always play out how they're supposed to play out. If you were not supposed to have that break at that time, then you were not. No matter how much or how bad you really needed it at that time. So to me, that's how I look at everything that happens to me, or everything that goes on in my life. If it's not happening and it's something that I want to happen, it simply just means, well, it wasn't meant to play out that way at that point, and then just move on. Tuesday, Babele questions Kenny about a missing teenager. Which teenager now? Nothing to add there. Francois' patience with Koloi runs out, and his words leave the young man shaken. I think this is the thing. I think Koloi, he needs to shut up. That would be the first thing, and handle his thing in his own private time, and let it not show or affect his work. Because now, if that doesn't pan out and he gets fired here, then he's really in a sticky situation. So it's best to keep that bit private until it's that day where everything is done. You sign the contract and you're just waiting. You are just saving your period. I'm not even sure if you are a waiter, do you even serve or need to serve a period, or you can just leave anytime? But whatever the case, I think however he's behaving currently, it's how he's supposed to be behaving when he knows that he's set somewhere, because anything can happen with his job at this point in time, and there's no fallback. Lehasa hides something he doesn't want anyone in his household to see. I'm not even gonna comment on this. Just gonna keep it moving. Wednesday, Kenny expresses remorse for his involvement in the disappearance of a teenager. Even this one, I'm just gonna move on. Kwezi and Nkosi are determined to uncover the identity of a person threatening Kwezi. This is the 19th, so this is like a week later, because Kwezi received the SMS yesterday, or on the 12th of November. So this is exactly 7 days later, where now the identity of the person, or now they are determined to find this identity of this person, which I think this is the okay, it's like, I understand this is a drama, this is a show, and there is a certain time frame that when you are telling a story, it needs to play in. There's a timeline that it needs to play in. And if you find that you seem to be dragging it for no particular reason why you're dragging it, because you have to remember it's a show. It's not like reality where it's like all these cases that go unsolved for all these years and years and years. This is a show. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be has a different timeline on how things are done, so that you can keep adding in new story, developing new characters, doing this. But if you find, then with Skeem Saam, a lot of time what happens to be the case is you have, in a year's time, 12 months period, you really have about 5 or 6 storylines in that entire year. If you were to count, you find that you only had 6 or less storylines. And that's the bit that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I think before it used to be a little better, where you had different storylines going on and things start and they end and you can see the ending. But as that went, that sort of disappeared slowly, and now we are just left with I'm not even sure what to call it, but it's like, yeah, sure, if you have no alternative, then you will just watch it for the sake of watching it, for the sake of, well, I used to watch this, but not really for the storyline, because there's so anyway, I'm renting a lot there. Koloi's streak of bad luck seems unending. Yeah, well, I hope he gets this gig, but yeah, the writers somehow, there are certain characters that they seem to have a problem with them progressing in life, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. But at some point, the guy has to win. Pretty suspects that Lehasa might be the one sending threatening messages to Kwezi. I'm sure it actually makes sense. If it's him, it makes sense for this to be Lehasa. Koloi finally gets his dream job. Yep. Yeah. I'm happy for him. Cause for a celebration. Friday, Lehasa's little plan to rattle some cages doesn't get the desired outcome. Again, this is this storyline, this Lehasa, Kwezi, and Peterson, Kosi. This is exactly the same as Ivy. It's exactly the same. Every week, every day is the same thing. You are being told the same thing, but in a different way. Then it's like, well, but then why don't you tell me when there's actually something? But anyway. Koloi confronts Chef Hosi about his silly little scam. I wonder what scam this is, and I hope it has nothing to do with the job. So yeah, that's it. Nothing interesting here. And it doesn't even look like, well, it looks like the only developing, or might be a developing story, is the one of Koloi and his dream job. Because now, if he does get the job, are we going to follow him, or is he going off screen? So that's, so if we do decide to, if the writers decide to follow him into his new workplace, I'm assuming, then it means we're going to see new faces. We're going to be introduced to hopefully new storylines. But if not, that would be it. That would be he will be off screen. So anyway, anyhow, that was it for this week. Until next week, I'm Young. I'm out.